This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a terrific matchup on tap between the Atlanta Falcons and the Mexico City Diablos. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
From the oldest capital city in the Americas, founded in 1325, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Mexico City. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Atlanta Falcons and the Mexico City Diablos. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, you look at this Mexico City team as they enter play here. It's been perfection so far. They come in here unbeaten at 14-0.
And just 2 wins away from doing something only 2 teams have ever done. But the most important thing for them now is to make it to the postseason in one piece.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Falcons, it's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them and finishing strong.
This one fielded at the 5. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. As we get a peek at Matt Ryan, a man who's been in the league since back in 2008.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense and hopefully springs a receiver.
Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a terrific matchup on tap between the Atlanta Falcons and the Mexico City Diablos. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
From the oldest capital city in the Americas, founded in 1325, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Mexico City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Atlanta Falcons and the Mexico City Diablos. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Mexico City team as they interplay here. Their long winning streak finally came to an end last week. A disappointing game for them, but still a heck of a run.
Indeed it was. What a great job by them putting together a streak. Now let's see how they rebound after a defeat.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Falcons, it's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them and finishing strong.
So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. They'll have Matt Ryan calling the shots, the former MVP and third overall pick.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
On first down, Ryan. And incomplete to open things up. Austin Hooper, the tight end, was the intended target. And now it's second down. All right, let's look at the offense. Devontae Freeman, this is a guy that you wanted to talk about, so take it away.
Brandon, have you seen a running back play with such joy as well as such fury? I love the way he runs the football and attacks defenses.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Second and 10, it's Ryan again. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete. A look there at the starters on the defensive side of the ball. They were terrific a week ago in that victory over Tampa Bay, Charles.
And what I saw on film was nearly an unstoppable pass rush. They had 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries. So now do you just max protect on offense, keep everyone in and run, 1 or 2 receiver routes to make sure your quarterback stays up? We'll soon find out.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And this one is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
On 4th down, here's Matt Bosher on the punt. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. It's taken to the 26. Nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And that will come the offense as they take over. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And we get a glance here at their leader, the man who will be calling the plays under center.
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership, that's what he's trying to accomplish.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10.
Now let's go!
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
Hurry up, here we go!
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. For a lot of people, MVP award means a quarterback award usually, but over 100 yards again last week. They're going to have to look his way more than once when giving out this award this season, I think.
Yeah, it's not just the consistency. It's been some plays that we've seen where we talk about it for weeks thereafter. That's what we're getting out of him. Over 100 yards last week. Expects to continue that in this game, too.
Hurry up, here we go.
They go play action here on first down. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 6 catches, 123 yards.
And he's trying to prove the adage is not just how you start, it's how you finish. And he is finishing awfully strong, takes great care of his body. I expect him to go ahead and put a capper on this season.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal.
All right, here we go.
Back to throw. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's second and goal.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
He'll drop to throw. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And here he'll get it down to the 7. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a third and goal. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
An extra defensive back on the field here for third and goal.
Here we go now.
Looking to throw. And that is incomplete. Good coverage that time by the linebacker, Deion Jones.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive team.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And this one will not work out. It is incomplete. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work.
Well, the element of surprise was there. All right, there's no doubt about it. For us, maybe. But not for the guys on defense. An incomplete pass on the fake field goal attempt.
I guess, though, if you're trying to pick up the first in that spot, why not let your QB throw the ball, right? Instead of your kicker, yeah. He completes it to Julio Jones. And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Ryan on 2nd down. And his throw is incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again. Just like last week, each game is its own entity, treated as such.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. From the gun, it's Ryan. This one complete to Devontae Freeman. And they're able to get this one across the 35. And they get 10 yards there and convert on 3rd.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and they're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way. They've got to find a way to get back in sync.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here's Ryan. And this is going to be incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And the final 2 weeks, just like a formality pretty much, they're going to be the #1 seed, but there is the matter of that perfect record, 14-0 right now. How might that change how they approach these next 2 games?
And I think what it does is it forces you to come together as a team and as an organization and say, okay, what are we really trying to accomplish here? And what's the best way to reach those goals? For some teams, the best way is to stay focused, stay locked in, go for a perfect season, and then take that open week to rest and heal up before the playoffs begin. For others, okay, we've got it locked in. Let's start to tamp it down a little bit. Get these guys rested and ready to go. All depends on your organization. I think most players would tell you, let's go for the perfect 16-0.
Yeah, I think the fan base, they would usually say that as well, wouldn't they?
They certainly would. The hard part, though, is if you get beat along the way, we should have rested the guys.
Exactly.
You know how it works.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll set them back 5.
Still 3rd down.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long.
Here we go.
He'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Only 3 punts in NFL history have gone for 90 yards or more. You just witnessed one. It's number 4. And the Falcons will get it 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. Ryan will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at their own 11. The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early, because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
On 2nd down, Freeman. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Now a play fake here on first down. Ryan hit, and he lost the football. And this is going to go the other way. The defense has it.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me, because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. They'll try and start this drive in the air. This one around the 6. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it first and goal. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. They'll come out in the pistol. They'll drop the throw. And it's caught. Touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And his guys have taken a first-quarter lead.
Well, the lost sleep that the defensive coordinator had all week preparing for this game, a good portion of it was trying to prepare for him, because he's absolutely a phenomenal player.
And a lot of times around the goal line, they know it's going to him. It's just so hard to stop.
And that's where it really becomes difficult, because you're exactly right. They know it's going to him, yet they still can't stop it. That tells you when you're a dominant player.
Parkey with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Now they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. So the false start will back them up 5.
False start, offense.
That's going to set them back 5 yards. So after the penalty, heading in the wrong direction, 2nd and 15. Ryan. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Sean Lee in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away, because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And instead they want to throw it off play action. Complete to Jones. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. They'll get 19 out of this, but it will still bring up a 4th down. So they wind up throwing it against your advice, but the result's still a 4th down.
Well, it did turn out to be a safe throw. And you know how sometimes coaches talk about using short passing game as a run? Essentially, that's what they did there. Now they can kick it away.
21 yards. Well done on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. And the former Heisman winner, this is Mark Ingram. And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield. Now, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He goes underneath to Ingram. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Tackle made by Devondre Campbell.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Here we go now. 3-19.
There he goes inside the 30. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Hurry up, here we go.
And they'll run it here. And a short gain here down to the 22. Malik Jackson there to make the stop.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Hurry up, here we go.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. He's going to let it go deep. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone.
I don't care what game it is. Everyone's always looking for an early advantage, an early break, and they almost had one there. That should have been an interception. Nice catch. Just couldn't get his feet down in bounds.
And offensively lucky to have that one back. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. They'll set up to throw. This will be caught inside the 10. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And he had a good amount of time to throw there, and at his level, he's going to pick you apart if you give him that time.
You have to increase your urgency. Whether you're blitzing, bringing extra pressure, or just your normal amount at him, you've got to get home, because if you don't, he picks up a 1st down just about every time, as he did there.
To throw here. This is caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A gain of 7 that time. 2nd and goal.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, Makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. Second and goal from the 1. They'll go with a keeper. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Only a yard on the sneak, not what he was hoping for, and it's third down.
Yeah, partner, they went a little conservative, didn't they? And they ended up marking it short. And now I wonder, will they even do it again on third down?
And this offense on third down today, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're looking at a third and goal here.
Here we go.
Now this time he'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. This will count as a sack, a very short sack, taken down at the 2. Tack McKinley in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
Third and goal, they decided to throw for it, but how about the play defensively? Couldn't find anyone open. Left him nowhere to go with the football. Had to absorb the sack.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
Parkey now following the made field goal to kick this one off. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And here now come the Falcons. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. To throw is Ryan. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. A nice pickup there, 19 yards. And they're set up better for third.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
And he will have a first down here at about the 40. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
I think I saw a lot of shoulders just drop there. And what I mean by that is they finally were able to relax a little bit because that was an important play call. They needed to pick up that first down at this stage of the game.
Yeah, couldn't afford another quick drive and out. Ryan swings it out to the flat for Freeman. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. 3rd and long. It's Ryan. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down. Keep the sticks moving.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Right back to him on 1st down. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a 1st down.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Now let's go. 3.
They're going to look to throw. That is caught at the 7. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. That goes for a gain of 31.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll set up a throw. The quick slant caught. And he's into the end zone for the receiving touchdown. In for the score. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead.
Now that touchdown won't allow you to totally relax, but you can breathe a little easier now. Just increased their lead.
Now Parkey for the extra point. He adds the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. So the drive there, 5 plays, 80 yards. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a spin again. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the...
Ryan hit, and he lost the football. And they take over already 5 yards deep into the red zone at the 15-yard line. He already had the 1 fumble loss, so now 2 fumbles lost here in this first half.
Not setting the pace the way that you want it done. I mean, here in the first half, already twice the ball's come out and hit the turf. Got to find a way to take care of it. Otherwise, they may have to start thinking about maybe someone different at that position.
So out now comes the offense back onto the field. Now, these guys hardly got a chance to catch their breath after the quick turnover, but I doubt they're complaining much.
Especially with the field position they get to start with. I wouldn't be complaining either. I'd want to get right back out there and get after them because now you have an opportunity to make a big play. I'd say let's be aggressive and go after him.
All right, here we go.
They'll look to throw here. He's going to be sacked. Back at the 23-yard line. Malik Jackson in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. 9 yards on the pickup that time, so he got more than half of it back, but it's still a 3rd and 8.
Now there's a good chunk of yardage picked up there, and big fella, sometimes he doesn't need a whole lot of space created. He can make his own way.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 8.
Here we go now. Green 30.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down.
The way he's been slinging it in the first half, you expect everything he throws to go for a touchdown, but I guess he's got to wait to try and pick up that 3rd, isn't he?
Yeah, I thought he had him for a second, but you're right, not to be. And Parkey's kick is good. And the lead now increases to 20-0. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
Parkey now following the made field goal to kick this one off. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. Boy, shifts past him. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field?
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Robert Kindici breaking through to get him for a loss of 7.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. He's got a man complete. And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line. A big play there, Ryan to Jones. 47 yards.
We just saw him hit a big play there on a deep post. And most of the time, the post isn't available because usually you have defenders in the middle of the field. But if you throw enough curls and crossing routes and underneath routes, I know from experience, they get tired of watching those balls get caught. They start to creep up a little bit, and that's when you can hit them big.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Connor Barwin in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. The left side completion to Jones. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around to make a play on the football.
And Bryant's kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go.
And they'll go on the ground. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. They'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Fields. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down. Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end, or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make the plays that they make. They also don't feel like they get enough credit for bailing out some of the throws the quarterbacks make.
Absolutely. Takes 2 to tango. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back here right after this. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Let's go. Green,
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And incomplete on the deep ball.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
Here we go. Green, 39.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Give him 2 yards on that play. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
The offense on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8.
Set. 3.
Back to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed, if there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. It's player spotlight time, and we focus that spotlight on the quarterback, Matt Ryan. What can they do now, Charles, to make sure this highlight montage doesn't continue to show more pressure and pressure and pressure?
You feel like it always comes back to leverage, don't you? Who is going to win that battle of the offensive and defensive lines? Low man wins, we talk about that, but we think about it in a running game. Well, guess what? The same thing happens when you're trying to pass protect. Are you low? Are you balanced? Are you in a position where the pass rush won't bowl you over on their way back to the quarterback?
And now he's going to go down in the end zone. Down goes Matt Ryan, and that's a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt. And if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
So after that safety, now a free kick situation forthcoming as they punt it away from the 20. They go play action here on first down. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A really nice gain of 25 yards. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. This quarterback now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. An incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10.
Set. Blue landed.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Looking to throw. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far, as we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. The weather might be cold, but the playoff races are heating up here on this final Sunday before Christmas. So let's get to it. We'll begin in the Alamo City of San Antonio, Texas. And it's the Oilers who are out in front. Tajay Sharp, a touchdown reception. We'll stay in the NFC North as we head over to the Motor City to check on the Lions at home in Detroit. And it's the visiting LA Chargers who are out in front. Phillip Rivers, 4 touchdown passes. Finally, let's get down to the Bayou. Check on the Saints at home at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. And that one all even as they play the visiting Bucs. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. It's a short kick, taken at the 15. And he's all the way up across the 40 and down at the 42-yard line. Great return.
Now that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
Now this offense about ready to take over again. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. He'll drop to throw. Wide open receiver complete. A very solid gain of 27.
They hit that crossing route really well. Excellent timing, puts it right on him, and he keeps running.
Yeah, turned it upfield for good yardage. Now they try the right side here. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. A great play there. Touchdown number 18 on the year. And his guys are going to add on to their lead.
Could not block that one any better. Everyone was accounted for, and a great surge by the offensive line.
Now Parkey for the extra point. Extra point was hooking, but he does make it through. And that will bump the lead up to 26. Just a 4-play drive that time. And in the end, the finishing touch, an 11-yard run. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Falcons offense making their way onto the field. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed, aren't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games? Look, everyone's talking about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadruple. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs. He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Freeman again. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Off the play fake. Here's Ryan. And that is incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's Matt Bosher now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And taken right at the 35. So possession goes over here on the punt. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. And now back out comes the offense. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Now back to throw. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he's taken down inside the 30. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Now that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot, but they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
3rd quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Now let's go.
He'll look to throw. And he's got him in, Corey Davis. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage, if he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because they'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue line it.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And a nice pick up there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
Leopard, set, blue line.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And he gets into the end zone for the touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And this offense is running away with this one.
That wasn't just toughness we just saw. That was concentration. Knew the hit was coming, yet the quarterback hung in there and delivered it downfield. The end result, 6 points for his team.
Parkey with the extra point. And the lead will swell by 1 more. So that drive in total 8 plays. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. It's player spotlight time, and we focus that spotlight on the quarterback, Matt Ryan. And this defense, they came prepared. He's probably going to be seeing them in his sleep if they don't fix things quickly.
And that's not exactly what he wants to see in his post-game slumber. So they've got to figure out a way to slow things down a little bit. Some screen passes, some draws, anything to make the defensive front hesitate a little bit. Think on their way back to the quarterback, maybe even a quarterback draw, some type of tendency breaker to change things up.
Exactly. Whatever the case, something to mix it up here. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Credit the tackle to Darius Phillips.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Play action, Ryan. And Jones has it over the middle. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Here's Matt Bosher now. He's been terrific so far. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. This is taken at the 23. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And here now the offense heading back out there. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the roads
true.
will be fairly clear
that is
by the time
one
we have to
positive.
leave the booth.
1st down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
We just saw what a lot of teams call a heavy set. 3 tight ends in the game. That signifies they want to run the football. Yeah, occasionally they'll play action and throw it, but most of the time, those guys on the field means strength, power, run the ball behind them. And now what a lot of teams are doing is they're taking an extra offensive tackle and putting him in a tight end number to give them even more blocking power, and we just saw it on that play.
They run again on first down. Peterson. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. The tackle made there by Tack McKinley.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. And this offense on third down today, they've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 4.
Here we go now. 3-19.
They'll set up to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
They brought in a heavy set on third down, and that usually means running play, but we have seen them throw out of that formation, and sure enough, they snuck the tight end out on that one, wound up hitting him for a first down.
First down, here's a run with Peterson. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one, maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
Detroit!
Back to throw here. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. And a nice gain of 21 yards. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
They'll drop to throw. Wilson snags it left side. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 12 more yards there and another first down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
They'll set up a throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Corey Davis, the intended receiver, and it's second down. Down this close to the goal line, first down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this situation because second down, that gives me an option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. They come up in an offset eye. Again, he'll drop to throw. And he will take it in for the touchdown. In for the score. And this offense continues to pour it on.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone. This guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes. Carving him up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. Parkey adds the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now let's discuss Julio Jones. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
They'll try to get the ground game going with Freeman. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Again, they'll run with Freeman. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Whenever I go to a team's practice facility and watch them work, I love to watch the defensive guys in what they call pursuit drills. The ball goes either towards them or away from them. How fast will they respond? On this play, the defensive end responded better than anyone and made a really nice play.
Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Ryan. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
They just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of it. Here's Matt Bosher now. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. And we'll see what he can do on the return. They'll call it a punt of 44 yards. The return was for 7. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. 1 quarter remains here in Week 16. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Mexico City. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. And they'll run it here. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. Back to the ground. This time it's Peterson. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. Vic Beasley able to make the tackle. This offense so far on 3rd down, they're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll look to throw here. And this is going to be incomplete. Solid coverage on the play by Devondre Campbell. First quarter, Charles, you really emphasized the importance of winning the turnover battle as a visiting team, as an underdog. They haven't forced a single turnover in this game.
And right now they're losing, so no turnovers might lead to no victory.
They're going to look to throw. And this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Falcons defense stands tall. They'll get the football back. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the fourth, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed. It's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
This one complete to Mohamed Sanu. Ryan to Sanu, good for an Atlanta first down.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball?
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Here's Ryan to throw. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him. An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. To throw on third down. Ryan looking for the end zone. And a shot taken on third down, unsuccessful. Fourth down now.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. He hit his first. Now this from 43. And Bryant's kick is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Now this offense ready to head back out there. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Now it's the backup Fitzpatrick. He finds Beckham complete. And now for him on the season, that is his 80th catch, and the result is a 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And on the ground they go with a running back. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive game. Just keep that clock ticking.
Fitzpatrick now on 2nd down. He's going to let this one go deep. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Here's Fitzpatrick. Right side, Davis. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Not much happening there on 1st down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
And they'll go on the ground. He doesn't find a ton of space following the display of quick feet down just inside the 45. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the 1st half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. Now Fitzpatrick. Left side, it's Beckham. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And they'll get 14 yards out of it and a fresh set of downs.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Well, they'll take that every time with a lead. 1st down, 4th quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it, and you have to ask the defensive guys, why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down, have to stop them, have to get the football back. But 8 yards on first down puts them back on their heels.
Move 45. Move 45.
On second down, Peterson. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on third down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. This carry with the extra effort is going to get him stopped up just shy of the 10. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Hey. Set. Move 45.
Now a handoff looking right, and they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Ready.
On third down, it's Franklin, and he'll be taken down here at about the 11. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up. And how might this affect him for the playoffs? We'll get a report when we come back. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th.
Set. Ready.
Fitzpatrick. And it's caught. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Parkey with the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. And what a drive that was. 16 plays all told. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. This one taken just inside the 10. Oh, good move. And now running right through it. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. They'll throw on first down with Ryan. Time for a break. This one all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. Over the middle, that's caught by Ridley. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Now Ryan, and he's got Sanu. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a 1st down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Ryan, they'll set up the screen for Freeman, and he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. A good pickup there on 1st as a screen pass gets him 8. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. Looking sideline, incomplete.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league. Totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively, they've been pretty solid.
Well, sometimes, you know, those defenders, they get into the receivers pretty well. And if they chip away at their timing, it's going to affect what you're doing throwing the ball as well.
Getting it out left side to Sanu. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. A pickup of 11, and it moves the chains. Again, Ryan. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Exactly what they were looking for. They've been giving up yardage. They've been letting them drive right downfield, but they got a sack right there. How about that for a little bit of revenge?
After the sack, oh, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
9th play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile. From the gun, it's Ryan. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the home team here, they're now a win away from a perfect regular season as they move to 15-0. And now it's off to the airport for a date with Customs.